What's going on, brother? Today I'm going to answer a question for you that I get asked very often, and that is, Gino, can you build muscle and lose fat at the same time? And if you're new here, my name's Gino, and for the last 12 years of my life, I've been a men's fitness and personal development coach, helping hundreds of men just like you build their first 25 pounds of muscle. So let's jump into today and answer this question. Gino, can you build muscle while losing fat? And look, let me give you the short and sweet answer. Yes, you can, to an extent, and let me explain. Look, if you're a gym noob and you don't go to the gym at all, or you go very rarely, when you start going to the gym frequently, right, which means about 4 times per week, your body will start to change very rapidly. And that's because your body adapts, okay? It adapts to whatever you're doing. So if you aren't doing much activity and if you're eating poor quality food, well, obviously you're gonna end up getting fatter, right? And you're not gonna build any muscle. If anything, you're gonna lose muscle. So when you start changing your habits and going to the gym more frequently, right? You start working out with weights and you start doing a little bit of cardio and getting more movement in and start eating healthier, then you will build muscle and lose fat at the same time. To an extent, because your body has to evolve, it has to adapt to the new things that you have introduced into your life, okay? So there's 2 different ways that your body can adapt, very simply put. You can do something to help your body, or you could do something to hurt your body, okay? If you do something to help your body, generally speaking, you end up getting more healthy, more muscular, and stronger, okay? Your body ends up getting stronger, more muscular, and more healthy. Now, if you're hurting your body, well, then the adaptation that ends up taking place is you get fatter, weaker, and more unhealthy, okay? That is a side effect that you are unhealthy, that you're doing things to hurt your body. So whether or not you're doing something to help your body or hurt your body, that will really change how your body ends up adapting over time. Does that make sense? So if you end up doing the right things, you can actually build muscle and lose fat. And that's what you call recomposition training. Now, if you're first getting started, you can be in this phase for anywhere from 3 to 6 months. It really depends on how bad you have let yourself get out of shape. But what ends up happening is through this recomposition training, you will actually build muscle and lose fat. But it eventually plateaus, and that's the only bad news, is you can't do it forever because it'll get to a point where your body starts to get very smart, okay? Your brain starts to pick up on this. And again, your brain and your body don't like change frequently. Likes to kind of keep things within order, within what it can predict. So it won't want you changing so rapidly. It's not healthy. Imagine if we kept building muscle and losing fat at a ridiculous rate, right? It never stopped. It never slowed down, right? That would not be a good thing. Our bodies would not be able to tolerate that. So our brain is smart and it says we can't build muscle and lose fat continuously, so we need to stop these processes. So it makes it a little bit harder for you. I want you to think your body gets stronger and you got to do a little bit more to challenge it. That's what I want you to think about in this scenario. So eventually you're going to plateau. So you're going to have to focus on one or the other, which means you're going to have to focus on just building muscle or just losing fat. So how do you end up doing this recomposition training? You're probably asking, Gino, well, how do I do this exactly, right? What is recomposition training and how do I actually introduce it into my life? Well, there's 2 things that you're going to want to do. You're going to want to make sure you're doing something with weight training, and also something with eating, like what's your nutrition look like? So what you're gonna do with weights is something called isolation training. And isolation training basically just means that you're working out every muscle in your body individually and giving it that individual attention so it can grow, okay? It's a training designed to help you build muscle. Now, nutrient timing is a way that you're gonna actually diet. Now you can learn to position foods at certain times of day. And what this will do is help you build muscle and lose fat, right? I'll give you an example of this. So if you have carbohydrates around your training before, during, and after your training, then you'll actually influence your body to build muscle because you spike a muscle building hormone called insulin. So by positioning your food during certain times of day, you can make it build muscle. You can also remove certain foods from certain times of day to help your body lose fat. So learning to work with your body instead of against it, with this style of training and this style of dieting, you will actually start to do this recomposition training I was speaking of. So the answer to your question is yes, you can build muscle and lose fat at the same time to an extent. Now, if you like this video and you want to see more like it, go ahead and hit the like button down below for me and subscribe to my YouTube channel.